Good morning, everyone. This is Chris Bruce coming at you live from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I imagine that this is going to be the last time you ever see me. And I say that because this morning I'm filing a declaration of utter bullshit. I, Christopher William, a living man and son of God, do submit this declaration. That the District Court of the County of Minnehaha is not an inferior Article 3 constitutionally defined court of common law and record, as it is defined in Article 3 of the Constitution of the United States of America. This court's jurisdiction was challenged over 7 times in 4 months, and the question remains on the bench where it has been sitting since June of 2019. Are you an inferior Article 3 constitutional court of common law and record? This question has not been answered to the satisfaction of the alleged defendant. The administrator of this court has never addressed arguments presented by the living man that quotes Supreme Court rulings and the Constitution of the United States of America, showing it is clearly not in possession of jurisdiction and is therefore not subject to the corporate fictions bylaws that it is. Oh, I'm so sorry. My fault. I skipped a line. Showing it clearly is not in possession of any jurisdiction, authority, or power over someone who does not reside as a U.S. citizen in this country or this state, and is therefore not subject to the corporate fiction bylaws that it is attempting to enforce on the living man, and who does not grant the court in question its authority or grant its consent. Or grant it his consent. That is because it cannot, without exposing its own fraudulent nature. It instead assumes stances on rabbit trails and makes frivolous arguments like the state's police power. What the hell is this? And who talks about this? Is this the same police power that the police use to shoot people in the back and tase them incessantly? Then I want none of it. Obviously, I am living in one of the 51 countries of the United States, not a country of 50 states with a federal government and its constitution in charge, since only this state's laws, corporate rules apply, and the supreme law of the United States obviously does not. Request for relief and conclusion. This living man revokes all consent to these proceedings, to this court and this state's police power, and declares this court and the orders of its administrator to be null, absolutely void, and without form. The living man also declares that due to this court being unable to prove its jurisdiction, it cannot enforce its orders and has no vested authority. This court has no proven jurisdiction over this living man or this matter, since it is operating in an unlawful jurisdiction that is evidently secret and known only to attorneys and judges. Until this court can prove its jurisdiction as defined by the Constitution of the United States of America, then take note that the arrest of this defendant may as well happen. But know that I will not answer to the name this government has unlawfully placed on me, nor will I recognize any authority falsely claimed by this court. I no longer recognize this court's authority until it clearly deals on this issue. Until then, I do not consent to these proceedings. You are more than welcome to hold your little 3-day-long 12-person jury trial at taxpayer expense for a misdemeanor. You can bet on my not being there. Note, this is not a statement of my intent to flee your non-jurisdictional territory. It is simply a declaratory way to say that I have no intent on being present for it. Should that result in my arrest, then so be it. Folks, the state of South Dakota is the only state in this country, well, that I know of anyway, that does not have to inform you as to where I am. Once I go to prison, I'm a lost man. If I ever go to prison, which I'm sure I will, you will not be able to call anyone and find out where I am located. And they are not obligated to tell you. Imagine that, huh? Tell me we don't live in a country of 51 countries. Because the law of the land obviously doesn't apply here. And that I just recently read an article where a guy had a habeas corpus application in for 2 years and is just now getting addressed. Folks, this state is about to jail me, and I probably won't ever be seen again. So I've already left instruction with my wife as to what she is to do. I've already left instruction as to everyone else as to what they're supposed to do with my things and so on. And I want to read to you contact information for these places so you can call and inundate them with calls. First will be the Polk County Courthouse, which is located at 425 North Dakota Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 57104. That number is 605-367-5900 for the clerk of court. Also, we have the Minnehaha State's Attorney's Office. They're at 415 North Dakota Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 57104. And their phone number is 605-367-4226. Folks, I don't want your money. And what I need is your support. So if you hear of me being jailed for any reason, which I will have my wife immediately notify the public and tag all of you, then I fully expect you to make phone calls. That's all I want. Okay? This is Chris Bruce signing off. Probably by the end of the day, I'll be in jail. Hasta la vista.